Welcome back to another tips video. This time, real question that I was asked a few days ago. Project manager came over to me and said, Nikolai, client is asking this. If a person opens up the application they're working with and they go File, Save As, and saves a copy of a file, and then they do Save As again and again and again, going to File, Save As, saving multiple copies of the same file, will that deduplicate during processing? And the answer I gave him, it depends. And of course, no one likes answer it depends, because that means there's a technical explanation follows that, and no one wants to hear that. People just want yes or no answer. And in this situation, there is no simple yes or no answer. So why don't we actually try it, see what happens, and then try to understand why it happens. Right? Let's go to the screen. And what I'm going to do is go to New, and I'm going to make a Word document, and we're going to call it test doc 1. Okay, so let's open it. All right, so we're going to open this document, and I'm going to type processing test. I'm going to save it, right? So we have this, so we can see that we have this file, and I'm going to go save as, and I'm going to do 2, 3, 4. That's probably enough. Now, let's close that and make a new text file. And we'll call it test doc. Or we'll call it test txt1. Open it. Okay, so save that. And then we're going to do 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's process these files and see what kind of results we're going to get. So I create a processing set and relativity. So let's discover files and let's see what we get. Now we expect to get 8 files discovered, because that's how many files we have. And since we have one word that's duplicated over and over and one text file duplicated over and over, we should expect 2 files to be published. So let's see if those are the numbers we get. And if you look, you see we do have 8 files discovered, which is great. So let's let this finish and hit a publish button. All right, and now we can have it. And now we can publish these documents and see what counts we get. And the count we get is, all right, but interestingly enough, we got 3 files published. What's going on? Let's go to documents and see what we got. So if you look here, we have 2 Word documents and 1 TXT file. This makes no sense. Why would it do that? So let's bring PowerShell and let's generate our own hash values and see what hash values documents have. I'm going to open PowerShell. Let me bring a window over here, and I'm going to run a command to generate hash values. And so what we see, well, for text files, all the text files got the same hash value as expected. But for Microsoft Word, we got different hash value for the first one, and then second, third, and fourth got a different hash value. And so these documents did get deduplicated out, but first one did not. So the reason why that happens is because of internal metadata. Actually, let's go back to our files here. And if we look at our Word document, I'm going to go Properties, and I'm going to go to the second one, and I'm going to click on Properties there as well. So these files have file system metadata, which is right here, file system properties of dates and times, but they also have internal metadata that are stored here in details. And whenever you resave a Word document, this metadata will be different based on the time you saved it. So like the exact date and time will be different from file to file. Now if we move this over and look at our text files, now these files don't actually have any internal metadata. This details, this is all file system metadata. There's no internal metadata to text files. So whatever content of the file they contain, that is what's used for deduplication, not any metadata. And so what is the actual difference between these two files? I'm not entirely sure. Let's like if you quickly scroll through it, it looks it's the same, but it may be the same issue as we did when we were exploring MSG files. This time step could be saved down to a minute or maybe seconds and so on. Well, if it would be seconds, I don't think I was that quick at saving. But so there would be a difference in this file system metadata. Now, to make things worse, when I did this test before, I actually got different hash values on all 4 Word documents. So these results may be inconsistent, right? So it depends how you do in file save as. So this is why I said the answer is it depends. It depends on what software you're using, what version of software and such. Because Microsoft Word does write internal metadata inside the file, which captures the actual time when the file was saved. And just like we've seen, it may or may not happen. Like I said, I did some tests before, and sometimes when I did save as, I got all files with different hash values. Sometimes I got 2 with 1 hash value. Sometimes I got 2 with 1 hash value and 3 with the other hash value. So I've been getting different results, and it probably deals with the actual time when I was saving it. That I did it within 1 minute, or maybe it crossed the minute mark or something like that. So again, going back to the answer is it depends what software you were using. If the user was using a text editor and they were saving text files and they did save as, it will dedupe out. If they were using Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint on something that writes internal metadata, then there is a good chance that those documents will not deduplicate out, because metadata about saving the file is stored inside the file and it will alter the hash value. So I hope that answers that question. That's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next video.